This week on the podcast, it's just us boys. Mendacii gives us his honest to angels and demons opinion on Bayonetta 3. Mr. Greenleaf tells us if you should be playing Marvel Snap. And stick around till the end of the show to hear about some deals that you can pick up this week. All of that and more in this week's episode of the podcast. Roll the intro.
Can I make the ba-ba-ba-ba? I'm loving it joke again?
I don't
No?
think we
Okay.
can redo the entire show like that. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I'm your host, Danny K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. Green, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Danny. Thank you very much for asking. I do have to complain about one thing only. I'm going to change it up. I had a Samsung monitor, a 27-inch 1440p monitor, 144 hertz. I can't remember the model number. I'll put that in the comments. It had a solder that was bad. It's a known issue in the Samsung monitors. Samsung support has told me that it is out of warranty. Therefore, I would have to pay to get it fixed, and it was $219 to get it fixed. Plus, I would have to ship it to the place that would fix it for me. No place near me that would fix it. So that would be another shipping fee on top of that I would have to pay for, which is exactly the price of a new monitor. So I might as well just go buy a new monitor. So
Are they going to
beware of Samsung monitors.
Are they going to give you any sort of recycling reimbursement or whatever, like to deal with the e-waste?
I have no. I told them they can shove it up their ass, and that has been it. So it's been sitting in the garage. I've been thinking about taking it apart and trying to solder it myself. But that's when I have some space to do that in time. So
yeah, well, if you
here we
do,
are.
yeah, I say if you do that, let us know. I would love to know how that goes for you. We're also joined by the spooky and the ookly, the Mendacii, whose knees are, wavering under the weight of existence, but he is here.
Truth. Facts. Short, concise, correct.
You doing good, though?
No. I want to fucking die.
It's okay, bud. It's okay. We'll get through it together. Thank you for watching and listening to the show. Like I said at the top, be sure to stick around to the end to hear about some awesome deals that we found for you. And of course, if you miss any part of the show, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. Of course, you can join us live and see all of our technical glitches and silliness. On Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. We do the show live, and we try to give you guys the best product on YouTube and Spotify. And we made some significant upgrades, and we're kind of learning how to work with them. So if you guys like the upgrades, let us know in the comments on YouTube, in the live chat. You can even tweet at us. Green Elite, hit him with that tweeter.
The Twitter is at Next to Nothing PC. It is on the Twitter website, now run by the Musketeer.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And if you really do really like the updates, go on ahead and subscribe on YouTube, because we do the show weekly, or mostly weekly, and we would love to see you guys over there. Anyways,
NTN verified win? Question mark?
NTN verified if I decide it's required for us to continue growing. If Daddy Musk is gonna make me pay, I might as well pay. Anyways, Mendacii, tell me about Bayonetta 3.
Hello, Bayonutters. I've got a spoiler-free review for you. So, I'm not going to do the whole review like that. That would be potentially awful. But anyway, so Bayonetta 3. Oh boy. So the game has more wild, nearly impossible to understand plot, just like the previous two games. If you don't remember what happened to them, it doesn't matter. It looks great. It plays phenomenal like the other two, and it's a little bit longer. I would say it's got like a few more hours of gameplay in there. It took me about 18 hours to beat Bayonetta 3. I've seen some people say like upwards of 20. And I took my time looking through a lot of these levels for the random like gizmos and gadgets that you can pick up, but more or less I just kind of tried to shoot through it because some of it was pretty painful. There's way more ways to play with 12 new weapons. Plus, if you had save data from 1 and 2, you get like your two primary weapons from both of those games, and I believe some costume stuff, which I didn't really check out. But you get the entire move set completely unlocked, which a little bit more on that later. So there's also demons that you get now in Bayonetta 3. With every single weapon you pick up, you get a demon. And a demon works kind of like a summon in a game, but you get to manually control them. For those of you that played Devil May Cry 5 and you played with V, the character V, it kind of works like him, a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more free form for you. So you can also sub literally any demon with any weapon, making a ton of combinations, some that are just absolutely terrible traps, and then other ones that are like super overpowered, depending on what your fight makeup looks like as far as what you're fighting. There's just tons of options. However, they all level up separately and they all have their own moves and skill trees associated with them. So maxing them all out takes at least a couple playthroughs. And for a number of reasons, you probably won't do that. More on that in a bit. The game changes up the gameplay dynamic with not only the move sets, but also with characters. You get to play some decent levels with a new character, Viola or Viola, which is kind of fun because she's honestly a great character. She has a really fun move set, but honestly, like you'll wish you were playing Bayonetta instead or had more freedom from her move set. Some of these levels, it literally feels like they didn't really try to kind of make Viola fit. They just kind of said, yeah, put her in there. And they force you to play these levels with her. A lot of the monsters that you fight, which in this game are called homunculi or homunculuses, um, they're fine to fight with Bayonetta, and most of the time they're actually pretty trivial. And Viola plays so much differently, being that she only has one weapon and one demon. She has her sick katana and her demon Cheshire, like the Cheshire cat. And I guess technically she uses her fists when the cat's out, but anyway, the fights don't really seem too balanced with this character. So you kind of almost feel like you're playing through a half or maybe even three quarters thought out mission when you have to play as her. So it's overall just it's baked in and it feels more like an obstacle than a kind of fun side mission. You get to do these missions every it's like you do 3 Bayonetta missions and then you have to do 1 Viola mission, and then there's also Jean. Jean is a playable character in this, but not at all like you would want to play as Jean. Jean comes from the other games as well. She's the other Umbran witch aside from Bayonetta, and people have really wanted to play her for a long time. And the community's been very vocal about wanting to check out this character. And it's like Platinum heard those people and said, "Yeah, sure, but also no." Of course not. So you actually only play with her in these like goofy, very awkward side-scrolling mini games that feel like old school Prince of Persia, but even crappier. And they honestly suck super hard and they take away from the entire rhythm of the game. They're not character action. Like I said, they are side-scrolling, like level platforming kind of thing. And it's one of those things where it just kind of feels like, a certain somebody that I can't put my finger on that would probably ban me on Twitter if he just knew what I was saying. It was just like, yo, we need to put dumb mini games in this game to make it not as good, like he does with every game that he touches. The game in itself is kind of an arduous hike. The missions are about 45 minutes in length and they're filled, like I said before, with all sorts of collectibles and secret missions. Though the secret missions are easier to find than they were in previous games, which is nice, and you don't have to immediately go into them. They actually go into a separate menu, so you're able to just find it and be like, "Cool, I'll check that out later." and then continue on. Whereas before you would have to, like, if you want to play this secret mission, and I can't remember exactly for Bayonetta 2 because it's been a long time since I played Bayonetta 2. But you would actually have to go into that level, get to the secret mission, play that secret mission, and you're probably going to be there until you beat it so that you can move on with the rest of the mission. If you wanted to try it again, I believe you'd have to go back to that level, find it again, and then blah, 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 blah. So this also means like all of those things that you want to find, stickers and upgrades and so on, you're probably going to scour the level, especially if you're a completionist, which means you're going to get a terrible grade on your time completion. And that means, like less uh, resources to level up and use on your weapons, your skill trees, and your demons and their skill trees. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot at the same time. So the big draw that it wants you to do is to shoot through, get a really good score, and then go back and replay that mission and look for everything that you might have missed. um, that drives me insane. It's very hard for me to do that. I would rather just find whatever I can find, without deviating too much from the path. The missions, like the levels, are actually a lot more open as well, whereas the previous games were fairly linear. So getting a good time on the levels is kind of tough. So I don't know. Like if you're comfortable with playing through a mission multiple times, you're probably gonna have like an amazing time with some of these. But the missions themselves are already like 45 minutes a piece. So keep that in mind when you go to sit down. Set aside some time to actually sit down and play. However, if you're short on time, this is likely where the game might plateau for you, especially if you are a completionist. You're going to have so many boxes to break, so many ledges to jump onto. It's going to end up feeling more like a chore than an actual character action game, like it should be. Um, yeah, so that being said, with the character action portion there, the enemies in this game are so sincerely bland and boring when compared to the previous games. The previous games, the models looked thick. They were super fun to fight. It felt good even when you messed up a parry or a dodge and you got your ass just tapped. These homunculus, they almost all kind of look the same. Some are bulkier, some are scrawnier, some move fast, some have big swings, the general stuff, but they're all like green, like baby poop green, and more or less look the same. So
Ew.
with their yeah, with there being like very little visual distinction and the way they move is fairly similar, the combat kind of gets stale. What saves the combat is the fact that you have so many weapons to try and so many demons to try, even though most of the time you kind of feel like an adult beating the shit out of a baby because you as Bayonetta are so powerful in this game. So I mean, if you like power trips, this is definitely it for you. And you certainly get a high when you're fighting bosses, but you end up feeling empty when they're gone because it's just back to dealing with the cookie cutter grunts. That's not to say that overall the combat is boring. Like I said, like you feel awesome when you're playing. It's incredible. It's super fun. It's just it's so reminiscent of like eating fast food. Now,
Like reminiscent of eating fast food, just
it'll fill you up
calories.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll fill you up now, but it's not going to really leave you with like a lasting feeling of glee. You are probably going to have the tummy grumbles. You're not going to enjoy it in the long haul.
Yeah.
Um,
Question from the
yes,
chat
yeah,
that I think
yes.
is valid here. Have you played it on any harder modes than normal?
No, no, not yet, not yet. Pretty much just did just like the normal run, and I'm not sure if I'm really like feeling like going back and playing through it. I found what I liked. There are some sick big dumb fist weapons. For anyone that follows me on anything, any game that has what I like to call BDFWs is an absolute win. And true to form, Bayonetta 3 has the Tartarus, which are these really, really awesome fist weapons. And Viola, like I said, when she's not using her katana and you have Cheshire out, she punches. So it's sick. I love that kind of combat. Um, so when I found what I liked, that's pretty much all I used. And really, the only thing that you can get out of playing again, this is not a spoiler, but like you're going to level up your weapons again. Like you can choose other stuff, your progress carries on. So there is like New Game Plus and everything. You do not get to play as Jean and Viola like as you would like, say, a la like DMC5, anything like that. They do have a sort of kind of, for anyone who's played Devil May Cry games in the past, they do have a sort of Bloody Palace mode that you will be able to choose to play as Jean with an actual move set, as well as Viola or Bayonetta. And then when it comes to the secret missions, since those go into a separate kind of category, when you do beat the game, you can play through those with Jean or Viola. So there is that. But personally, I don't have any desire really to go back and play through this. So I'm gonna get up to that. And like I said, this is spoiler free. So I'll keep the details of its ending under lock and key. However, I will tell you the ending of this game recontextualizes the entirety of the series. It literally stomps it into the dirt and will leave you so in awe that they would make the decisions that they did that you're going to be flabbergasted, mind blown, blinded. Just, it's so awful. It is, and I cannot stress this enough, so blindingly awful. I have no idea where they could take this series now. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the very last Bayonetta game that we could ever play. Uh, yeah, I really don't see it happening, honestly. Um, I would say that if you want more Bayonetta, go play Devil May Cry. Just go play Devil May Cry. Play 3, play the remaster of 1, 2 doesn't exist. Go play 4, 4 is fine. And then go play 5, and then wait eagerly for Devil May Cry 6, because that's where Bayonetta lives now. Otherwise, I mean, like, just go play Bayonetta 1 and 2. The end boss, true to form like the other games, is terrible. It's just dumb and bad, and leaves you again completely unfulfilled and unsatisfied. Bayonetta 3 is available on the Nintendo Switch for $59.99. It's worth $60 if you're gonna feel hollow, like, or sorry, it's worth $60 if you're into Bayonetta games, but you are gonna feel hollow, just completely empty and full of nothing and the void when you beat it. Otherwise, sure, wait for a sale and then pick it up. I mean, holidays are right here. If you've got a whole bunch of really sub tier games that you're willing to trade into something like video games, etc., or the unholy god of GameStop, then pick it up for whatever. But yeah, just play at your own risk. Honestly, best way to play this game, just stop 2 missions before the end and pretend that you beat it. That's probably the best way to enjoy this game.
I won.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I just need this for the sound bite, Mendacii.
Yeah.
Did they ruin the Bayonetta series with this game?
Dude, honestly, okay. I really don't want to go into spoiler territory. But yeah, it shits all over everything that they built and all the years of it. Just play it for the gameplay and you're gonna have a great time. The story was never, it's something that not many people really ever tried to pay too much attention to. They're just like, Bayonetta is a fun game to play. This is a fun game to play. Um, the story is so god awful though, like insanity, just
Yeah.
absolute insanity. But yeah, like my good friend Brent, who is also a massive Bayonetta fan. I say massive. I know that he would be kind of tensive to say that, but he's a fan of Bayonetta 1 and 2. Played them both multiple times. Is phenomenal at these kinds of character action games. I would recommend this game to him, and I would tell him like, yo, the ending is absolute balls. Be ready for that. And you know, um, I think that he would probably. I don't want to speak too much for him, but I feel like he would feel the same way. And this is someone who has also. He's much more of a logical person than I am. And is not so emotionally triggered as me, but I feel like he would be like, that was really bad. So yeah, I can't, man. It's probably the worst ending of a video game I have ever experienced.
Look
Yeah.
how they massacred my boy.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely massive.
I think you've answered pretty much every question that I would ask. I've never like had the opportunity to try out a Bayonetta game.
Yeah.
Uh so I'm not like emotionally attached to the franchise or anything like that. Um but
I
I
would
think
say I'm in the same boat.
yeah. Um okay. Any other thoughts, opinions, any other hot takes?
Oh, but I'm ready to snap into some mobile games.
Yeah,
Oh,
man. Bury bury this game under thumb taps.
okay, Green. You got the segue. Going ahead.
I got the segue. Hell yeah. I'm going to be talking about Marvel Snap. It's the newest Marvel mobile game brought to you by Marvel. So how the game works is you can download it on iOS and Android. It is a 10 card deck style game with three different they're like locations or like tiles that you can place up to four cards on. Each card is like a character from Marvel. Like there's like Squirrel Girl is one of them. There's an Apocalypse card, Onslaught, Odin. I haven't seen a Thor card yet, but I'm still relatively new. I mean, they have the staples. Captain America is in there. There's several X-Men in there, which I think is great because right now um they're moving into like recognizing X-Men again for Marvel because they were at one point they were like, we're just gonna kind of stray very far away from X-Men because Fox owns the rights to it. So yeah, it's great that they're seeing some love in there. But each card will have like an ability. And each round you get like a certain amount of energy to play certain cards. So like the first round you'll only have one energy point to play a card that has one energy point to it. Um and then you can set it on a certain tile that may have an effect to that tile or that location. Some locations are like this: if you play a card here, it has 25% chance of being destroyed, or um add extra attack point to it, or something like that, or power points. And essentially, how to win the game is you have to have more points on that location than the other player, and you have to win 2 out of 3. So, as I said, each of those locations will change, or each match. Sometimes they'll even like change in the middle of a match, or one location will destroy another location, and that effect will no longer be there. So there's a lot of variability to the game. And as I said, each card has its own ability if it has an ability itself. I know there's a few cards that just they're there, they have points. Like the Hulk is like a level 6 card. So you essentially can't play it until the last round. But it has like 12 power, right? But it doesn't have an extra ability. It's just 12 power. It's like the highest powered card you can get that doesn't have an effect. But then there's other cards like Morph, who is like a level 3 or 3 energy card that will actually change to another card in your opponent's hand. So like you could set him down on round 3 and potentially have one of their high cards in their hand, free on your side. So there's, as I said, a lot of variability. Um, a lot of different ways to play. The biggest thing is this game is free to play, but it does have like a battle pass style. So you can purchase the battle pass or the premium of it, and then right now they're doing a Wakanda, like Black Panther battle pass because of the movie Wakanda Forever just came out. So like you can get a Black Panther if you pay for the premium, you can get like the Black Panther card, um, a variant of that card because they like to do like variant covers with the cards. And then like you can do progression is like daily missions, and then so like either there'll be like a slew of different daily missions that like play four 3 powered cards or win 10 games. So there's that progression there that will level you up, and you'll be able to pull like get different cards and upgrade the cards that you have. And then there'll be like the seasonal progression as well that will offer essentially the same thing. And you can get some free stuff from that, or you can pay for the premium, and then they'll have like the premium stuff that you can grab from that. So all in all, it's a very simplistic. I haven't seen any like one card that like is just like you have to have it in your deck. Um, so like you can play around, and it's not like overly difficult to like actually like play the game and win the game. Um, One thing is like once you get to a certain point or certain level, it becomes more like a ranked system. So you can like when you win, you'll get points to rank up, and then you can when you lose, you can also drop ranks as well. And the biggest reason why it's called Marble Snap is like when you're playing, you can press the snap button, and it'll actually increase the like win points that you'll get or lose. So if both players hit the snap button, you can it goes all the way up to 8 points, and then like 8 points is a lot. I've been seeing in the rank system, because I think every rank is like 10 points. So like some people will just snap at the beginning of it, and then like it's an easy 8 point upgrade, and then sometimes like they're so confident in themselves, and then you hit the snap button, and then you lay down like your final card, and like you win by just a hair. So it's definitely an interesting game. It's a good time waster. Rounds usually only last maybe 5 minutes, if that. So
So, real quick, like a little bit
yeah.
more than a toilet game. Like, is this like a lunch break game?
Eh, no, I would say you could get like 1 or 2 rounds in when you're taking a poop. It just really depends on how long you poop.
That's
Depends on how
fair.
long you commit to that shit, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you went to like, a Mexican joint as opposed to eating Subway, I guess,
Or if you're just a long pooper, you know? Who are you to judge, Danny?
true.
Okay. All right.
True. The boss makes a dollar, I make a dime. I poop on company time. That is
Exactly. So, yeah, I would definitely say like this game it has a purpose. It's there. Um, I I don't say it's a great game. Like it's almost too simple, but then again, it's also good in the aspect that it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic, where it's like overly complicated and stuff like that. So this is like I'm like I don't want to say I'm on the fence. I say it's a decent game. It's a decent mobile game. It doesn't try too hard to like make you pay for stuff. Because like the in-game currency you'll get as you progress. So like variant covers of different cards you can pay for with gold that you get from the game. I've already gotten enough gold to buy a variant cover of a card. So it's not like, oh, you have to have this, you have to have this, you have to get the premium. Oh, you have to drop $10 on a Captain America card. There's like bundles that give you a variant of like I think right now it's like a Captain America card. It's like $3, and it comes with like credits and gold. And they cover variants of Captain America. But throughout the progression thing, I got Captain America anyways, and I think everyone else does because I see a lot of Captain America cards. So it says mystery card as you progress, but I'm pretty sure a lot of those are set. Is the longer I play, the more I see like those cards. So about the same time I get them. So I'm assuming each mystery card is not really random; it's already preset. So it's not a bad game.
yeah.
It's decent. I would
Rare
say.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say like for a free to play game and you want something to just waste time, especially if you're going across country or a 1,500-mile drive on the coast, and then inevitably get stuck in Long Beach, California, this is a game for you. You know,
That was so hyper specific. It almost feels like a very personal experience that you had.
almost it might
Very
have been.
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Any questions on Snap?
I guess yeah, my question just was gonna be in terms of card games.
Mhm.
I'm thinking we can say Master Duel, we can say Duel Links for the Yu-Gi-Oh versions. They also have a third one that came out that I want to talk about at some point, but I haven't really touched it. There's Hearthstone. There's Gwent, for the Witcher series. Like
Mhm.
where would you like if there's a tier list, where would you and that's the competition, where would you put this on that tier list?
This is very subjective because like I have played the Yu-Gi-Oh games on my phone, and I fucking hate them with a passion. But that's because I hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I've played Gwent once in Witcher 3. I haven't played like the actual
The
thing
standalone?
on mobile. Yeah, I haven't played it on mobile, and I also have never played Hearthstone. So like I don't know. I would say I personally put this over Yu-Gi-Oh just because like I hate how gimmicky and cheesy and like how far Yu-Gi-Oh's gone and like their power creep, like putting in cards that combat cards that they put overpowered to begin with, kind of thing. Like you don't get that feeling like, oh damn, this guy has this like particular build that's like they're pulling cards out of nowhere kind of bullshit, you
Yeah.
know? It's not like that.
There's no everyone has a Maxi and Ash Blossom because
Exactly. You both lay down cards at the same time in
yeah.
this game, and then like whoever's name is like highlighted, their card flips first, and
Mhm.
so like there's no like option for like an Ash Blossom, response card or something like that.
Yeah.
But there are cards that like uh their effect may affect your card.
Mhm.
Rocket Raccoon, if you play Rocket Raccoon on a location and then they play a card on the same location, like Rocket Raccoon will get an extra 2 points of power, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards like that, especially like the Guardians of the Galaxy cards that have like they get extra power if you play a card on the same location as they play a card, right? So it's definitely um a lot of a lot simpler, I should say, than Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm okay with. Some
Yeah.
people might not like that.
I like
But
that it
then
it seems like the mechanics are built more in like just thinking how your opponent thinks and trying to
mhm,
outthink them and outpace them. I like that more than just like I love Magic the Gathering. That's something that that's a stain I will never wash out of who I am. Um, but man, it can be exhausting to get into a card game. And I feel like this is one that is easy to get into. And like,
yeah,
if you like to play them casually, I don't think that this will like suck all of your life and soul away.
yeah. It's definitely all about location control in this game. Some people might not like it because it is so simple. That's kind of the reason why I'm like not over like head over heels about this game is because it is so simple. But that's okay. For me, it's really just a time waster. As all mobile games truly are. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to know if you guys have played Marvel Snap. Let us know in the comments on YouTube or tweet at us what you guys think, especially if you are like a card game player. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh or MTG or any of those games and you've played Marvel Snap, let us know in the comment section. We'd love to know your opinion.
The
Uh
Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah,
Does anyone actually play that or do they just collect the cards? I'm so confused.
actually our good friend Zombie has been playing recently.
It's actually been playing. The
Yeah.
funny thing is I actually had a Game Boy game that was Pokemon the trading card game, the
Yeah.
game.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, you went around and you battled people with the card game rather than the Pokemon themselves. Remember that fondly. I don't know why that just unlocked in my memory, but yeah.
And I'm sure it was better than the Yu-Gi-Oh Game Boy game. I gotta remember what it was. Game Boy game. Looking it up live because I know I had it at some point. But it was
Oh, I
god
actually
awful
had
and did not
Yu-Gi-Oh.
work.
I actually had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I actually played them, and then there
Oh.
was definitely a bunch of cheaters in my school. And one of them, I like Wes. I'm talking to you, Wes. I know you're here somewhere. You're gonna see this someday. You're a fucking cheater. I remember in middle school, you always had the same 5 fucking cards in your hand. The first pull. You cannot tell
Yeah.
me you weren't cheating, you little shit.
By the way, it's called Dark Duel Stories, and it was god awful. Anyways,
Remember Majin Buu, the Boo's Fury, Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury on Game Boy Advance? That game was fucking rocking. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
no, that's fine. That's fine. Do you want to talk about some deals that we can snag this week?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I have one deal that I think you guys definitely should pick up if you're on PC, and that is the Humble Choice for $89 for the entire year, which you can get until December 2nd. This is only for people who have new or canceled memberships to Humble Choice, and you'll need to use the promo code HOLIDAY22. Fair, like, disclosure, we are Humble Bundle affiliates, but we don't have a link for this one. I am saying this because I genuinely think this is a really, really good deal if you want a bunch of PC games. Humble Choice gives you monthly games for free. We used to highlight that when we did deals of the month. They are free to keep on PC, and you get discounts as well. Usually, Humble Choice is $10 a month. So if you do this for $89 for the year, you'll be saving $30 for the entire year, as opposed to subscribing to the $10 a month.
$31 to be exact. Who's
So-
counting? Who's mathing?
Yeah, I don't have the exact dollar amount. I don't know if it's $89.99. So it might just be like $30.01, or it could be $31. But
That include
yeah.
tax? Does like Humble Bundle do tax with that, or is it just 89 flat? I think it's just 89 flat. It doesn't say 89.99 on the website. So what I would assume, if they're saying $89, there's no change.
Yeah.
Like no 0.99.
Yeah.
But like that's another question. Like the one-time purchase, is that taxed or not? I don't know.
It'll probably they probably tax it at checkout.
It could, and
They probably tax it based on your
mathematically, 89 times. Okay, we're gonna go Iowa state tax because I'm an Iowa boy. $89 times 0.07 is gonna be $6.23 of tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it varies state by state. Some states do not have tax on online purchases, digital purchases rather. Iowa is one of those states that does have tax on digital purchases.
And so is Arizona.
Yeah.
Splendid.
So yeah, that's my deal. I do think you guys should pick that up. Again, we are Humble Bundle affiliates, but I don't even think we can generate a link for it. I just genuinely think this is a good deal. So
Pick it up.
yeah, pick it up. This would also be like a good deal for like as a gift too, right? We're in that gift buying season. If you have like a brother or someone who's like hard to shop for, this would probably be a good one to pick up for them. Mendacii, what'd you find?
Civ 6, my friends. Civ 6 is on sale on Steam until the 22nd of November for 90% off. Means it's only $5.99. Winter's already here, which obviously brings in the holidays. So buy the game for you and some of your friends, and you could lose all of your friends by the end of the year.
Well, that is if you can even get to the end of a game.
Right. I mean, like as soon as you're like, yo, truce. And they're like, yeah, for sure. And then, like someone starts like spreading a new religion in your capital city. And you're like, what's going on here?
Friend, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's how friendships are broken for free, or rather very close to free.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Green.
I got Spiritfarer on sale on Steam right now until November 21st. It is 75% off for a crisp US $7.49. Again, that goes until November 21st, and you can find that on Steam.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful little game too.
Yeah. Anything else that we wanted to mention?
I mean,
No?
Vermintide's on sale. It was free last week, but if you were like too slow, go grab Vermintide and join the other 7 million new players or whatever that started that. And
All the people.
yeah, all of them. And me and Brent will play with you. Holla at us.
That's
We'll play with you.
$5.99. Yeah, $5.99 on Steam. I'm assuming Humble will reflect that too. But that goes on until November 21st as well for Vermintide
Yeah.
too.
Nab it. And then, when you're like wanting some space, go play Darktide with us.
Nice.
The Pokemans. Pokemon comes out on Friday.
No, only Blood and Guts.
Not cute little monsters and lizards that turn into motorcycles. Come on now,
Forbidden.
it's gonna be great.
So, real quick, before we get into what's coming up on all of our channels, next week's episode is going to be pre-recorded, but that will be released as a premiere on Tuesday when it usually goes out. So just be aware, no live show next week. We are doing it recorded because our guest is over in Europe. And we would like to respect our guests' time and health by not making them stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning. Yeah, 3 or 4 in the morning. So, just a heads up. But Mr. Green Elite, what's coming up on your channel?
I'll be playing some Pokemans on Friday. I got a lot going on this week. I'm still doing some stuff at home, trying to get situated now that Kenna, my fiance, my wonderful, beautiful fiance, is now here with me. I am no longer a bachelor pad situation. But I also am waiting on Elgato to get back to me, their support, because something is a little fucky with my Elgato Stream Deck. But I'm gonna try to stream without it. It's just a pain in the ass because I don't have my scene selection buttons. So
I
it is what it is.
I know a solution.
Oh, I know. I could probably use some, crafty mobile slash online thing called Touch Portal, but I'm too lazy to set that up. So I will just use a mouse and click the scenes like I used to back in the olden days. So
what a peasant.
Sorry? I know. It's wild. But yeah, definitely Pokemon on Friday. It sounds like I'll be having a special guest with my fiance because she has we have the TV. If you can't see it on the screen, but there's an actual flat screen TV up there and a Nintendo Switch sitting right there. And then my lovely fiance bought me a Nintendo Switch. It's literally right here. I can pull it out. It is fancy. So I only have one game on it, and that is the pre-downloaded Pokemon Violet. So, no, I'm sorry, it's Scarlet. Pretty sure it's one of them.
Hey, you could get Bayonetta 3.
I could, but I'm not going to.
What? No, best game of 2022.
I don't know if that's gonna get the Gotti. We got here, God of War Ragnarok out. We got Stray. Elden Ring is a 2022 game. I don't know if it's winning.
Yeah, to be fair, there's 7 games out for every award this year, so that's it. It's just the same 7 titles for the best community.
The community response for the 4th year in a row, and I don't know if
Oh man.
Destiny really deserves it. I'm gonna say that.
No.
I love
No.
Destiny. Like the story, I'm too burnt out, and it's just like I don't know if they deserve it anymore. Maybe the first
No.
year, yeah, great, but now it's just like, yikes.
Where's Hunt
Anyway,
Showdown
tangent.
in that conversation? Mendacii,
Exactly.
what's coming up on your channel?
Well. Since I am a humble bundle collection fella, I have my hands on both Signalis and Ghost Song. And now that the Rocket League season is over, I am now only in the recruitment phase for my university's esports team. So that means that I might be able to actually stream some shit on Fridays when I don't have homework. So check out my Twitter at only Mendacii to see when I go live. And we'll see which one I choose, whether I want to play Signalis or Ghost Song. I've wanted to play both a hell of a lot. I literally have them downloaded. I am staring at them in my library right now, yet I have so much to do before I can sit down and play 'em. So why don't you join me when I get a chance, hopefully this Friday. All times are in Central Time. And again, that's on Twitter at only Mendacii.
Hell yeah. Uh, Coming up for me, not a lot, because I will be traveling again this weekend and will be out of town for a whole week. But this Friday, VRCona Live comes back on the Next to Nothing Network channel. This Saturday, we have Mendacii's one-on-one campaign session being released on YouTube.
I wasn't even there. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. But wait, I'm not done. The following Saturday after that, we have Quasar's one-on-one campaign session. So we have a lot of VRCona coming to you guys over the next couple weeks. If you guys don't make it to the VRCona live stream this Friday night, those sessions will start getting released every 3 weeks out, I think. So look forward to that. I really appreciate your patience on VRCona. I know you guys really didn't have a choice anyways. Neither did we. Trust us. We didn't want that. We didn't want to do that long of a wait, but we kind of had to. But yeah, otherwise, not much going on for me. You can keep up with my shit posts on Twitter at DaniK, DANIECAE, while I'm still there, because it seems like the site might actually become intolerable over
A
the
barren
next
wasteland of hell and posts and check marks and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can keep up with me there. Otherwise, I don't think we have much else. Let us know what you think about everything in the show this week. Thanks for watching and listening. We appreciate your time and attention, but of course, we're not just interested in that. Let us know what you think about everything, and let us know if you pick up any of those deals in the comments or tweet at us. Green, hit him up with that tweeter.
At Next to Nothing PC on the Twitter.
Excellent. And if you like the upgrades that we've done to the show so far, let us know. And if you really, really, really like them, go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like that's a wonderful thing that helps us out quite a bit. Otherwise, until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fights, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.